Do not be blinded by righteous anger.
They stole Razakel from me, Algernon. My greatest creation!
A thrall is easily replaced. You are not. Without you, the blight is a brute weapon. Only your hands mold it into life.
The mortals deserve worse. But we have crucial work in Arth.
After it is complete, one resists.
The Dread Wolf's influence. His presence lingers.
Ever defiant. For now.
You know what lesson I learned again today?
What's that?
Never bet against Rook. You can find the twisting path through any problem.
Too bad the gods got away, and Elganon has become bolder.
We came to kill a dragon, yes? And instead, we killed a bear.
That took 2 of the gods' pieces off the board.
And we have our revenge. And so does Treviso.
We won the day. Can't take that from us. But the dragons are only weapons. The wielder is still out there.
How do we find them? The gods, I mean.
Gillenayne's the key to their plan. Elganon said as much. And Gillenayne mentioned Arlathan.
When was that?
After Elganon cast his spell, I was close enough to hear them. Didn't you say the Veil Jumpers have trouble out there, Evka?
Yeah, with the Venatori. Feels like more than a coincidence.
Finding them will be a challenge. Arlathan's enormous. They could be anywhere.
The Veil Jumpers can help us narrow the search. We help with their Venatori problem. Then odds are good we find the gods' trail.
Good luck. We'll keep watch here.
Yes, much to do. If you have time for Lavendel, there's something I could use help with.
We lost a lot of wardens today. After Weishaupt, we need to be stronger than this to face the gods.
But we'll do what we can. We always do.
The wardens have your back, Rook. All the way to the end.
So that's Algernon, huh? I didn't think it was possible, but we got lucky at Weishaupt.
We were fortunate Elganon and Gillenayne disagreed on her attempt at vengeance. But why did Elganon let us live? We were at his mercy.
They talked to each other like we weren't even there. It wasn't until the spells started to fail that he noticed us at all.
We weren't a threat until then. He left as soon as we were. Means he's clever enough not to push his luck.
Whatever the reason, we made it through. And this time, no dragon escaped.
Thanks to Tosh.
That's why we recruited them.
So what's our next move, Rook? Arlathan, right? Help the Veil Jumpers?
Remember that Antoine has something for us too. And we owe the Wardens.
And the Shadow Dragons. They had our back in that fight.
Right. We need our allies at their best to have any shot at defeating gods.
Elganon's arrival certainly puts a dreadful emphasis on it.
So we help our allies.
And track down the gods.
And maybe deal with our own crap when we've got time.
Docktown has problems.
Look. The mission's still the same. Stop the gods.
Which means?
It means we offer to help the Veil Jumpers with the damn Venatori. Then we figure out what our other allies need. And help them get it.
And us?
I need you focused and ready to face impossible odds. So tell me what that will take. We've got work to do.
So Elgar'nan finally showed his face, huh?
Now we've got to deal with both gods. And Elgar'nan showed everyone he's more powerful than Gillenane.
You play the hand you're dealt, right? No matter the odds. True in both life and games of wicked grace.
People died, Varric. My team's still not at their best. They're trying, but their own problems are getting in the way.
So deal with those. You'll strengthen your own hand and weaken the gods at the same time.
Why would helping my team hurt the gods?
The type of people your team's having problems with, they want power. And the gods have plenty of it. Those types will crawl over to the gods and see what's on offer. And the rest, they'll just keep making your job harder.
Still need to find the gods, though. The Veil Jumpers are our best lead right now. We've taken down an archdemon and 2 blighted dragons. That's impressive. We even made Gillenane bleed twice. We have to keep up the fight.
You've got this, Rook. Just fight one battle at a time.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dread Wolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dread Wolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine?
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit she returned, her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again she was struck down, on this occasion by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You...
As you say.
You're Mythal. That's why the ambient magic around you is so fractured.
Such a flattering picture you paint of this ancient bond.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon, or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mathal's and of those who bore her.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mathal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way, but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Every decision he made, Solus thought he could save people, stop things from getting worse. Now his only way forward is a plan so terrible his last friends had to stop it.
An unfortunate belief, that all paths are closed but those one has already taken.
There might have been a better choice.
'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Maybe there's a way we all get what we want.
Do you truly believe such a thing?
Well, maybe at least what we deserve.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until I survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Algernon and Gillenane, or against the Dread Wolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dread Wolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
We're getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was. Has to be her.
A fragment of Mythal herself. We talking or
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. We made ourselves bodies to be like humans, but I never expected to see humans scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am?
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evenuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganon and Gillenane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.